Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to another video on my channel Hairliciously. If you guys are new to the channel, please make sure to subscribe so that you guys are updated on hair loss and hair transplant topics, as well as updates on current hair loss treatments in the pipelines. Visit my website at hairliciously.com to purchase your microneedling device, which is scientifically proven to stimulate hair growth, my low-level laser therapy cap, DHT Bikini shampoo, conditioner, and serum, hair growth vitamins, and a few other products to help those who are losing hair. In today's video, I wanted to talk about yet another incredible hair loss treatment currently being worked on in South Korea. A fellow viewer of mine had reached out and he wanted me to take a look at this company called Androgen Therapeutics or Synergen Therapeutics. And you know, it's always a nice surprise to see Koreans working on these various hair loss treatments, let alone emerging as a new leader on the global healthcare market through advanced innovative medical technologies. And I feel like I can somehow relate since I myself am Korean American. And I feel like if there is a hair loss treatment that looks promising, it'll be easier for me to communicate and reach out to these companies since I also do speak the language. And I also visit Korea like once every couple years or so. So I suppose that there is that bridge that can be established to help clarify, any questions, or if there's anything that needs to be addressed or any updates, I can definitely try finding out more information on. So my fellow viewer was kind enough to send me this PDF by Synergen Therapeutics, and the company basically is interested in treating androgenic alopecia through the use of an over-the-counter topical androgen receptor suppressor, which I will go further into detail in just a bit. The global alopecia market is at $3.5 billion, and North America accounts for half of the global hair loss market, with most of the sales coming from drugstores and retail pharmacies. They state that the currently available therapies have severe side effects: erectile dysfunction, decreased libido, swelling, male breast cancer, dizziness, headache, rash, blah, blah, blah. And this is obviously talking about one of two FDA-approved hair loss medications that we have. As you guys know, it's finasteride, aka brand name Propecia. And as you guys know, finasteride is one of the best hair loss treatments that we have readily available in the US. It's a 5-alpha reductase inhibitor that blocks a good chunk of testosterone from converting into DHT. It works very well for the majority of users in slowing down hair loss, but there is a small minority of finasteride users who do experience adverse side effects, which are very real, usually pertaining to sexual dysfunction, and this is due to fluctuating hormonal levels, particularly the balance of androgens to estrogen ratio. And therefore, there are a lot of people who are either unable to take finasteride due to experiencing side effects, or due to the fear of taking finasteride and potentially developing these symptoms later on the road. Now, this next slide shows us the cause of androgenic alopecia. Binding of 5-AR results in DHT production, which binds to androgen receptors in our hair follicles and induces hair cell apoptosis and hair loss. The image in the middle shows the mechanism of action of cosmic RNA, which is a siRNA therapy intended to treat androgenic alopecia. And this is their lead product that works by inhibiting the production of androgen receptors, which bind to DHT, causing havoc to our hair follicles in those who are sensitive to the AR protein. So siRNA is also known as small interfering RNA or silencing RNA. And what it does is that it delivers specific RNA sequences into a target area and interferes with the expression of intended genes by interacting with and preventing the translation of messenger RNA. So with cosmic RNA, siRNA is used to suppress the expression of the androgen receptor gene, therefore limiting the number of androgen receptors within the hair follicles. And obviously, by doing so, it's going to result in fewer androgen receptor sites for DHT to bind to in the hair follicles. And in the figure here, we can see that once testosterone is converted to DHT and binds to the androgen receptor, there are several syntheses that occur with TGF-beta, BMP, and DKK1 in the dermal papilla cell, which are pathogenic mediators known to suppress proliferation of epithelial cells and induce apoptotic cell death, leading to hair follicle regression and miniaturization. So cosmic RNA basically targets directly the root cause of genetic hair loss without altering or fluctuating the hormonal profile with something like a 5-alpha reductase inhibitor, finasteride or dutasteride, meaning that potential sexual side effects from the hormonal imbalance of androgens and estrogen are going to be non-existent. So one of the world's leading multidisciplinary science journals called Nature published a study regarding this technology last month, titled Weekly Treatment with SAM-RNA or SAMI-RNA targeting the androgen receptor ameliorates androgenic alopecia. And in the study, treatment with self-assembled missile inhibitory RNA, also known as SAMI-RNA, nanoparticle type siRNA selectively suppressed the androgen receptor expression in vitro. Clinical studies with application of SAMI-RNA to the scalp and massaging to deliver it to the hair follicle confirmed its efficacy in AGA. For identification of a potent SAMI-RNA for AR silencing, 547 SAMI-RNA candidates were synthesized and screened. AR68 was the most potent and could be efficiently delivered to human follicle dermal papilla cells and hair follicles, and this treatment decreased the androgen receptor, mRNA, and protein levels. In the low dose 0.5 milligram per milliliter clinical study, AR68 was applied 3 times per week for 24 weeks, and through quantitative analysis using a phototrichogram, we confirmed increases in total hair counts. In the high dose 5 milligram per milliliter clinical study, AR68 was given once per week for 24 weeks and showed 83% efficacy in increasing hair counts compared with finasteride. No side effects were observed. So figure 5 here shows photographic assessment that revealed an increased hair density in the AR68 low dose treatment group compared with that at baseline. The total hair count increased at 24 weeks after treatment with AR68 compared to that of baseline, from 133.14 to 135.41 hairs per centimeter squared. And the mean change and rate of total hair count increased about 2.273 and 1.87% at 24 weeks. So not much difference was observed from the low dose treatment versus placebo. Now figure 6 here shows the higher dose treatment of 5 milligrams per milliliter of AR68. And based on the analysis of total hair counts and photographic assessments, there actually was a significant improvement at the end of week 24. Phototrichogram analysis shows significantly higher total hair counts for the AR68 treatment group at 16 weeks, from around 182 to 190 hairs per centimeter squared, and also the same at 24 weeks. Hair count was also averaging 182 to 190 hairs per centimeter squared, averaging about 7.7 hairs per centimeter squared. So overall, it's definitely exciting news to have something new in the research pipelines as far as inhibiting the AR expression using the SAMI-RNA nanoparticles targeting human AR mRNA is concerned. I'm not really too hyped with the actual numbers that we're seeing from the treatment in terms of hair count and hair density. The efficacy did not reach to the same level of finasteride, but the study showed that there were no adverse side effects and that it's a much more convenient weekly treatment. There definitely obviously needs to be a larger sample group to test AR68, as there were only like 22 patients who were involved for both the low and high dose treatments. But generally speaking, this seems to be a very promising treatment for androgenic alopecia by targeting the androgen receptors via siRNA, and the science behind it seems to be really solid. This is probably the direction that a lot of hair loss treatment companies will push towards. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they can eventually suppress the expression of the androgen receptor almost completely, in the near future, basically halting further progression of hair loss, genetic hair loss, and hopefully at some point this will literally be the potential cure and end all to androgenic alopecia. The company also has a few other treatments in their pipelines, ranging from antifibrotics. They have research on kidney, heart, liver disease treatments, autoimmune disorders, just to kind of name a few. And these are also all through RNA therapeutics. As for now, I think that it would be great to use this in conjunction with other treatments, including finasteride, Minoxidil, and other anti-androgens, as it works in a different mechanism of action. Pairing it up with an anti-androgen especially would make this treatment more efficacious, as it would boost AR inhibition. Something like Kintor's KX826 or GT2029 when it becomes readily available. Other available anti-androgens that we have right now include RU5841, flutamide, spironolactone, that hair loss sufferers have been known to use. As far as commercialization and pricing, I really have no idea since they haven't mentioned it. But being that it is a cosmeceutical and relatively new in the realm of treating hair loss with siRNA, I really have no idea. It probably would take a couple years, in my guess. Maybe it might be even quicker to eventually, have this over the counter. And as far as pricing, if I were to kind of guess, I would probably say somewhere between like $150, $200 USD. Just based on some of the pricing I've seen on some of the other topicals. But share me your thoughts on this innovative siRNA hair loss treatment. I'll be posting up any updates that I hear from Synergen Therapeutics. But thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. If you guys have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comment section below. And I'll keep you guys posted. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.